I remember I was very anxious, I was very shaky, I was very nervous, I was counting every minute to my presentation. And at that point, you will think I was taking notes of the ongoing presentation, but I was trying to journal down my feelings, I was trying to journal down my emotion. And at some point, I remember I made a prayer to God and asked Him to come and intervene, to give me confidence and strength to So, welcome back again to the Silent Struggles channel, a platform where we create awareness, inspire one another, and educate each other on matters to do with mental health. My name is Jane Mwangi, and I am a practicing counseling psychologist. Now, before we even continue, I want to take this opportunity to say many thanks for your support to this channel. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. Thank you so much for your positive comments. Thank you so much for liking my videos. I really don't take it for granted. I appreciate you all. Then for us who are yet to subscribe, kindly let us consider subscribing. Okay? Now, our today's episode is in retrospect to our previous episode on anxiety, and I want to share my story with anxiety. Remember from our last episode, I shared with you guys that anxiety is a normal human emotion, and it is okay to feel anxious because we are human beings. Okay. However, if it prevents you from performing your day-to-day activities, then it becomes a concern. Okay, so many people have suffered anxiety at some point in their lives, including the best public speakers that you can think of. Okay, so even me, I am not an exemption, and I also know you are not an exemption, right? So I have suffered anxiety for the best part of my life, whereby I struggled with expressing myself in public. Hence, I developed social anxiety. So it was up until this day when I had a sit down with my supervisor, and we were trying to help each other on our points of growth, on areas that we would wish to improve. And I happened to share with him that I would wish to improve on my public speaking skills. Okay, so I remember at that time he encouraged me a lot, and he told me that even him himself at some point in his life he struggled with anxiety, but at some point he overcame, or rather he's now able to manage it. Okay, so there's this time that in our department as routine, we usually mark these calendar days like World Mental Health Day, World AIDS Day, by doing some health talks, sensitizing the public and so on. Okay, so there's this day that now we had to do a presentation at the boardroom, and now my boss appointed me to do the presentation. Of course, he told me in a week advance, and so I had some time to prepare. However, it was not easy. I remember I will do a countdown of every day, and the moment I had that thought that the presentation is nearing, I will feel anxious, I will feel terrified, I will feel, I don't know, I used to feel a type of way that even today I cannot express. Now, of course, my feelings, my anxiety didn't prevent the D-Day from coming, and so the day came. And I remember as I was seated at the boardroom, I remember I was very anxious, I was very shaky, I was very nervous, I was counting every minute to my presentation. And at that point, you would think I was taking notes of the ongoing presentation, but I was trying to journal down my feelings. I was trying to journal down my emotion. And at some point, I remember I made a prayer to God and asked Him to come and intervene, to give me confidence and strength to carry out the presentation. And truth to His word, He came through for me. And at that point, I remember there's a verse that came in my mind that I can do all through Christ who strengthens me. And for sure, God gave me the strength. God took me through the presentation, because I remember when I stood up for the presentation, all the anxiety vanished. I felt calm, I felt confident, and I was able to take through the presentation in a good way. And at the end of the presentation, I remember my colleagues really complimented me, and I was so happy for myself. I was so grateful. I was so happy, excited, and I felt, yes, I did it. I did it. So some of the lessons that I learned, one is that the best way to overcome our anxieties is by facing our fears head on, because I understand that my supervisor understood that, and that is why he flooded me to my feared situation, because he knew that was the only way I would overcome my anxiety. Okay. Another thing is about journaling down. It is okay to journal our feelings down. It is okay to journal our emotions down, because it has a way of giving us some type of relievement and some type of calmness. Okay. Another thing is about reassuring ourselves, reminding ourselves that we are normal human beings and it is okay to feel anxious. However, even with the anxiety, we will still do it and we will still make it. Okay. Another thing is seeking help from the superpower. Oh my God. I remember at some point when I remembered of the verse that I can do all through Christ who strengthens me. That verse gave me some type of reassurance, and I felt for sure I can do everything. Okay. So yes, those are some of the things that you guys can buy, and you can be able to transform your lives positively, especially if you're struggling with anxiety. Okay, so yes, that is my story with anxiety. Though overcoming anxiety fully, it's not easy, because anxiety presents itself different on different occasions. I have learned to manage my anxieties. I have learned to control my anxieties. I have learned to make peace with my anxieties and feel the anxiety, but still do it anyway. Okay, now moving forward, also I have managed to do a lot of public speaking. I have managed to address different forums on different topics without feeling much anxious. And of course, I know that everyone has a story to tell. So it might not be necessary to do with anxiety. It might be probably with other silent struggles that you are going through. So if you are there and you feel that you would want to bless us with your story, kindly feel free to reach out to me so that we can make arrangements and I can be able to premiere you in our platform, and that many people can get inspired by your story. Okay. And actually, on our next episode, you guys are not ready for what I have for you, because we will be having our first guest ever on this platform who will be able to come and share with us some of his silent struggles and how he overcame them. Okay. And I believe that his story is going to inspire so many people, and it is going to be of great help in our lives. Okay. So till next time, bye bye.